Hello and welcome everybody to Football Overload, the channel where we analyze football games, look at them from a tactical point of view, look at the goals, look at big chances, how they've been created, and maybe how they could have been defended. In today's video, we're going to look at El Clasico, the Supercopa final between Barcelona and Real Madrid. What a fantastic game. There was so much intensity and so much quality throughout the 90 minutes. The game has absolutely been terrific to watch. So let's get straight into the first scene and the first goal. At the start of the first Real Madrid goal, Barcelona is actually in possession of the ball. In fact, they have a corner kick and Rafinha's cross is cleared by Valverde directly into the feet of Vinicius Jr. At the edge of the box, there is a duel between Casado and Vinicius, and for a moment, it looks like Casado is able to recover the ball and stay in position. He tries to put his body in between the ball and Vinicius to play back or to play to the side where Lamine Yamal is completely alone. In this case, Casado must win his duel and must be able to protect the ball, because if not, there's a lot of space in behind the defense of Barcelona, and with Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. and the speed they have, this is exactly the situations they are looking for, because once they can develop speed and have a lot of space behind the back, they are very, very dangerous. A few seconds later, the situation looks like this. Kylian Mbappe is on the ball in a 1-against-1 against Balde. Vinicius Jr. is making a run in behind the back of Balde to attack the space right here. I don't really like this run because it takes away a lot of space from Mbappe, because with this run, he also brings Pedri closer to him. And once Vinicius Jr. crosses Balde's offside line, Pedri doesn't need to follow anymore and can help Balde in a 2-against-1 situation. From a defensive point of view, Balde now needs to try and slow Mbappe down to get Rafinha or maybe Koundé or even Pedri to help him, not in a 1-against-1 situation, but in a 2 or 3-against-1 situation. Also, don't let him come inside where he is in front of the goal and can choose to shoot in the left or the right corner, but try to force him out wide to make his angle to shoot worse. Maybe you'll be able to block a shot on the second post, and like this you can help Szczesny so that he only needs to focus on the first post. Even though Balde fails to block the shot from Mbappe, in my opinion, he does a good job, because he's not only forced Mbappe to go out wide, he also is close enough to put pressure on him. And in this situation, with the speed of Mbappe and with the space he has, and you're also inside the box, so you cannot touch him, because if you touch him, it's a clear penalty. With all these circumstances, I think Mbappe is so hard to defend, and that's why I think Balde is doing a great job, even though at the end Mbappe will be able to shoot and to score the opener. The first Barcelona goal, for me, is a clear example on how Flick wants to play football compared to the years before, where Barcelona was focused more on possession. With Flick, possession is not the only thing for Barca, but also going forward and attacking the space in behind their opponents. So Cubarsí is playing the ball to Koundé out wide. Gavi is making a run to ask for the ball. Camavinga needs to follow him, otherwise he will be completely alone. Now what this creates is a lot of space right here. And Lewandowski, recognizing the space, is already pointing to where he wants to get the ball. Koundé will be able to find Lewandowski right in this space. What I don't like about the defensive behavior of Real Madrid is that there are two center backs, but none of them is concerned about Lewandowski getting the ball. For me, they are both a little bit too far away from him, and if they just were 1 meter closer, or Tchouaméni maybe 2 meters closer, they would be able to put enough pressure on Lewandowski to force him to play back. But in this situation, even though there are two players against one striker, one of them, in my opinion, has to stay closer to Lewandowski. Koundé finds Lewandowski between the lines, and Rüdiger is too late to be in a duel at the reception of the ball. But also, he didn't stay in position, which means he gave up the space in his back. Lewandowski will then go on and find Lamine Yamal in Rüdiger's back and leave the Real Madrid defense in a 2-against-2 situation against Lamine Yamal on the ball and Rafinha on the left side. These are the situations you want to avoid, because with the quality and the speed of not only Lamine Yamal but also Rafinha, it is so hard to defend. It's kind of similar situation as it was on the first Real Madrid goal, where Mbappe was on the ball and Vinicius Jr. was on the other side, also in a 2-against-2 situation. What I don't like in this next image is the defensive behavior from Tchouaméni. He tries to get in position to attack Lamine Yamal from the front. I would prefer him to attack Lamine Yamal directly to force him out wide onto his weak foot. There he is not only on his weak foot, but he has also a worse angle to shoot from, as if he goes inside onto his strong foot. What I like is the run from Rafinha. He first pretends to come inside, which forces Vázquez also to come inside and follow him. This creates a little bit more space in Vázquez's back, and with a good timing, he attacks the space in his back. This does not only leave him in a better position than Vázquez, but also leaves the space in the middle completely open for Lamine Yamal to come inside onto his strong foot. And this is exactly what will happen. Tchouaméni fails to put him out wide, and Lamine Yamal will be able to attack the space in the middle onto his strong left foot, leaving him in front of Courtois in a 1-against-1 situation where he can choose to shoot either on the left or on the right. When we look at the third Barcelona goal, there is a few bad decisions from Real Madrid that lead to this goal. First of all, Courtois decides to play a long ball to Vinicius Jr., who is in a duel against Araujo. Now, 9 out of 10 times, I think Vinicius Jr. will not be able to stay in possession, because Araujo is just too strong and too big for him to win the header. Second bad decision is to play the long ball in the first place, because the distances between the Real Madrid players are just way too big. The defense is too far back, and the midfield right now is not existent. Only Jude Bellingham is close to the ball. So therefore, 8 out of 10 times, Barcelona is going to stay in possession of the ball, because they have just many more players who are close to where the ball is. The only zone where Real Madrid would win the ball is if the ball lands in this yellow zone right here. Araujo, though, wins the duel and is able to pass the ball to Koundé, who can then turn and attack the zone in front of him. Now let's look at the situation from a different camera perspective. Koundé is on the ball and has no pressure whatsoever. He sees that there is a lot of space between the center back of Real Madrid, Tchouaméni, and the right back, Vasquez. This is because Vasquez tried to give Courtois a solution before he kicked the ball long to Vinicius Jr. Therefore, his way to come back into a structure is just too big, and there is not enough time for him to close the gap between him and Tchouaméni. So Rafinha is realizing that there is a lot of space right here and starts to make a run and to attack the zone. Koundé on the ball is able to put a fantastic cross right into the space, and Rafinha will be alone in front of Courtois, and with a fantastic header is able to put Barcelona up 3-1. Overall, a great goal, a great cross, and a great finish. But also too many little mistakes that led to this goal. First being putting a Vinicius Jr. against Araujo in a heading duel, then not putting pressure on Koundé on the ball, then also not defending the zone in your back, but only focusing on what's going on in front of you. And last but not least, playing a long ball in the first place when your team is really spread out, because then there's very little chance you're gonna get the second ball and to be able to keep attacking from there on. At the beginning of the fourth Barcelona goal, Real Madrid is actually in possession of the ball. They have a corner kick right here and decide to play short, which can be a good option. But then Rodrigo tries to play a pass to Valverde, who is not really ready to receive the ball. Lamine Yamal is realizing or reading the situation pretty well and is intercepting this pass to Valverde and can then go on and start a counter-attack. In the next image, you can clearly see the determination of the Barcelona player to kill this game. There are 5 players making a run to score the fourth goal, and only 3 Real Madrid players trying to defend the goal. With 3-1 in half-time, there is still a possibility for Real Madrid to make a comeback in the second half. But if you concede the fourth goal before half-time, the game is pretty much over. So that's what I love about this image right here. Rafinha is making a brilliant run into the space, and Lamine Yamal on the ball is realizing this run and knows how fast he is and how good he is when he's receiving the ball and is in a 1-against-1 situation with Valverde. What I don't understand though is the defensive behavior from Mendy. When you see there is no pressure on the ball, you cannot have a body positioning like this. His body needs to be sideways so he is able to sprint back immediately. But with this body position, the time he needs to turn his body and to sprint back is just way too long. So he leaves his teammate Valverde completely alone in this 1-against-1 situation against Rafinha. The first thing I notice in the next image is the positioning of Mendy. He's just way too far from Valverde to help him. And that's because of his bad body position in the prior image. If he would have stand sideways, like he should have been, my guess is that he would probably in a position right here, and he would be able to help Valverde and defend the run from Balde. But because he's still this far away, there is a lot of space in the back of Valverde, and Balde is realizing it and attacking the space. Now the situation for Valverde is kind of similar to the first 2 goals we have seen. Try to delay the attack is your prior goal, because then your teammates will be able to help you. The second goal is to show him the line and try to push him or force him out wide. Because it is just way harder for Rafinha to score from here than it is if he would come inside or even find Balde in this space right here and to shoot from a central position. And that's why also in this case you have to try and delay the attack and then go on and force him wide. Valverde loses his 1-against-1 duel against Rafinha, which is not a critique because there's just too much speed in the action and it's so hard to defend when a striker has the ball on his feet with a lot of speed and a lot of space in front of him. So no doubt that the mistake has been made before. Still, Rafinha finds Balde, who can now shoot from a pretty central position because Mendy is still not close enough to block. And Balde will be able to put Barcelona up 4-1 and pretty much kill the game. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something useful. Do you have a different opinion on certain situations? Let me know in the comments. I will be happy to discuss them with you. If not, then thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave a subscribe if you want to see more videos in the future. Let me know which games I should analyze next, and I will see you there.